Hey everybody, Brightys Kelly here. As y'all know, I have a lump in my thyroid. It's right there. It's at 2.4 centimeters. I did not get a biopsy and I almost went for surgery. But isn't that silly to do when you can just heal it yourself? I do know that a lot of people think, well, so much work to detox and I won't be able to work a job, I'll have to be home, how am I gonna afford to pay my bills, how am I gonna do all this stuff? I get it, that's probably why I was thinking the same thing, I'll just get the lump taken off. But then it turned into, well, if we see some cancer cells, which I call the C word to let you know, then we're gonna have to take that half thyroid out, which would be my left side. And then we're gonna biopsy the other side, which means they're biopsying my lymph nodes, which is just crazy. You don't let them do that. Then we might have to take the other side out and you might be having no thyroid at all. Boy, did that bug me. I found this in October of 2019. In November is when I started like getting the scans and everything. I just had this voice in my head, what are you doing? You know better, you can heal this. Yeah, it might take some time, it's hard work. Gotta change your diet. You know, no more drinking wine. You gotta, get tough like you did before, right? Well, the surgery was coming up, and a week before the surgery, which I was gonna have January 3rd of 2020, I couldn't do it. I just knew that I had to heal this myself. And anybody can heal anything in the human body because this is an amazing thing. You can heal it. So that's what I'm doing. And they still wanted to biopsy it, and I did not go. I chose to not do that, and I'm gonna tell you why. When my dad was dying in 2017, I think it was it 18 or 17? Wow, it's weird, I don't remember that. I think it was 2017. They found a lump. My gynecologist found a lump, which is very weird. He sent me to a place, and it was a lump right above this lump. Now think about that. It's right above it. Probably about right there. And this one I can't really feel. It was also 2.4 centimeters. Not very high above the one that I have now. And with my dad dying and everything going on, I went ahead and got a biopsy, which I know better to do. And the freakiest thing they did, the surgeon had the big old needle in there, and he starts going, and he goes, do you hear that? And I'm like, mm-hmm. That's calcification. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Because guess what? They're gonna pull the calcification in those cells out and they're going to drop down. So that's why I think I have this one. If that makes any sense to some of you, you're gonna go, she's crazy. No, that needle is pulling out the stuff and it's gonna drop into another area, which made this. One doctor called it a cyst, another doctor called it a nodule, and of course the C word was thrown all over the place. If you know any of my history, genetic history, my mother died when I was 5 of lymphoma. She had found a a lymph node that was swollen. She was a nurse. She believed in Western medicine wholeheartedly, and she did everything they told her to do, and she died within a year. 1 year. And she was severely sick, and it was horrible. I had a grandma with breast cancer. My dad died of liver and colon cancer. I have 3 siblings. I'm the baby of the siblings. The brother that's the second oldest, he died of cancer. I don't even have to give it a name. I mean, cancer, which is just dead cells. And it all could have been healed. And it's so strange. I wonder what my mom would think, knowing what I do is the exact opposite of Western medicine. I would say more Eastern medicine, but not even that, really. I don't necessarily believe in supplementation either in any of this. I believe in tissue-specific herbs because that's what healed me before, which if you've watched any of my prior videos, you would see that I healed many things, fibromyalgia, degenerative discs, IBS, many mental illnesses. I was on so many prescriptions, guys, it was horrible. I had agoraphobia, chronic fatigue, severe panic attack disorder, and then they give you a prescription, you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I could sleep all the time. Whoa, let's give you Wellbutrin. You know, oh my God, I have so much anxiety now. Oh, well, let's give you this. Let's do this. Tweak, 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 tweak. I was all kinds of messed up. So here's my regimen. I did isolate two different things on this one, which I did not do before. And I'm going to tell you the reason I'm doing it is my research. On Facebook, I put a post out like, okay, I'm getting ready to detox. You know, I'm very open-minded. And I had a couple of people that I respect highly, Jennifer and Melinda, and they were like, do this, try this, and my chiropractor. So I did isolate these three things. So this is the iodine I'm taking. See if you can, hopefully you can see that. It is IODORAL, and the IOD is 12.5. And you do 1 a day for a week, then you do 2 a day for another week, 3 a day for the 3rd week, 4 a day for the 4th week. You never go up over 4, you want to be at 50 per the book that my chiropractor read and what he has seen help, you know, his clients. On this, I have had some detoxing symptoms. So I just want to share that with you real quick. I had the fluttering of the eye, really bad last Sunday. So, you know, couldn't get a hold of my chiropractor, so I got a hold of my friend Jennifer. And she knows I'm a truck driver and that I work, you know, I could work anywhere 10 to 14-hour nights. And believe me, I prefer the 10. But she said, yeah, that's a high dose. But according to this man in his book, this is what's worked for his clients, and he had been doing it for, you know, 20, 30 years. So I did have some detox. I had a little bit of shaking on this one, just a little bit. So I am now down to 2. I kind of weaned myself down over this last week because I didn't want to just shock my system anymore. So I'm just doing 2, which brings me up to 25 on that. The other one I'm supplementing is my selenium. This is the one that I bought. I just take 1 a day. Selenium is needed for your thyroid. And many of us are very low on it, and we're very low on iodine. I think pretty much where the iodine thing started is we used to have the iodized salts, but I think it was back in the 1960s. For some reason, American government took a lot of the iodized salts out, and you were just getting just a regular table salt. Then the epidemic of heart disease and heart failures and hypertensions came along, right? Instead of looking at it like, well, I need to fix my kidneys, you know, I've got something else going on, everybody kind of got rid of the salt. So, and you know, we don't live by the ocean. Me and my son, we live here in the Ozark Mountains. We're right in the middle of the United States. So we're not in the ocean. We're not swimming in the seawater, the salty waters, absorbing it through our 3rd kidney, our skin. So we're not getting a lot of that iodine. So that is why I'm supplementing that. It's kind of fun for me to just test it. I like testing things. It's my body. I can do what I want. So I'm testing those 2 things. I did add the cofactor. The one thing I will say about this I don't like is that you do urinate a lot of it out. And it is got a high dose of niacin, which usually affects me. This is not flushing me. It does have your B1 and your B2. What else was it? It was in this, the riboflavin. That's what you're urinating out. It makes your pee very yellow. They usually put a lot of that in the supplements to make you think that you're getting a full effect. But this was told to me by my chiropractor, and I do trust him, and I love him to pieces. So I'm going to continue with this and the iodine for another month, and I'm just going to see what happens. And that is my isolating on that one. And then me and my son decided we were going to isolate on this. Now this is the advanced TRS. This is a heavy metal detox. You do 2 sprays in the morning, 3 sprays before you go to bed at night. It is fairly expensive. For 3 of these bottles, I paid $170. That sounds crazy, but me and my son are both doing it, and it's going to last us 3 months, so do the math on that. Not too bad. I did do a before iris picture. My eyes were scary, to say the least. I created one hell of a monster on this one. So we did another picture within 30 days. I saw a little bit of change in my pelvic vaginal area where I had a lot of mucus and stagnant lymph. And there was actually some dark colors there. I didn't really like that. That is clearing up. And my gut is clearing up already. This will get the heavy metals out, according to everybody. This is a zeolite. I've never recommended isolates, but I'm hitting this aggressive, so I wanted to try those 2 sets of isolates. That's the only isolation that I'm doing. The other things that I've been hitting is my glandulars. I don't know if that light is going to bug you from my windows, but that's one. The company is Professional Formulas. This is for the thyroid. I do 2 of those a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. I'm doing the pure pituitary. Pituitary is your master gland. If that thing isn't telling everybody else how to act, everybody's just going to kind of sit there and go, what do you want me to do? I mean, the pituitary is like, I don't know, you need to do something, but I don't really know what to tell you to do. So you got to get your pituitary up and running. I always do these at the beginning of a detox, and I do a lot of my stuff intuitively. Like, I check in with my body, my mind, my spirit. What do I need to do? The other one is my pure adrenal 200s. I did not do the 400s because my adrenals aren't as bad as they used to be. I'm not suffering from the anxieties and the panic attacks, which do come from your adrenal glands. However, I do have a high candida issue, and adrenals can help when they function properly with that. And I do still have some heart palpitations here and there, which is another thing. You got to be careful with your iodines. If you start experiencing a lot of the heart palpitations, you want to wean and, go check in with your health physician, one that you trust, and see what's going on with you. Mine are just little flare-ups from the surgery I had. Parathyroid, got to do it. You have 4 of them. You have your 2 thyroids, you have the 4 parathyroids, they sit behind the thyroids. The parathyroid is your calcium utilization. This is where your depressions come from, folks. If you're depressed, you must get your parathyroid up and running properly because you are not utilizing your calcium, which will in turn turn into many, many health problems, not just depression. Okay, so you must always check in with your parathyroid. Kidneys, got to do it. Got to get those kidneys filtering, right? So I'm doing my pure kidneys. I'm doing a month and a half on these. The other ones, I'm doing the parathyroid a month and a half, and the other ones were just it's like a month to a little over a month on the glandulars. Now, these glandulars do come from bovine. They come from New Zealand. They're grass-fed. They're in the sun. They're happy. When they do get killed, which is awful, and I don't like it either, but we are in a messed up world, and we're going to have to get aggressive with the things we got going on in our bodies, so you're going to have to do the glandulars, guys. It's just the way it's going to have to be. Suck it up. Suck it up. They don't feel the adrenaline. So the glands are healthy. You're getting the cells from those glands, and it's going right to your glands. It's a win-win for us because we live in a chemical world, and I'm going to share videos on my knowledge of, well, I'm almost at 13 years of showing people how to heal their bodies and what's going on in our world. I did add brain and nerve. I always do that. And the upper circ, obviously, upper circ. When you start having these kinds of problems, you're going to find that if it's up in the head, you are systemically blocked. Your lymphatic system is a mess. And when you look in eyes, like I have blue eyes, my eyes look gray. It's all lymphatic, and then I've got some chronic stuff going on as well in some areas. So upper circ is amazing. On tinctures, it's really hard for me as a truck driver. I will share that with you guys. So you want to try to do those 3 times a day. I'm only able to do my tinctures once a day. So I did a lot of my stuff in capsules this time, which I usually do not do. I did the Parasite M. I'm almost completed 1 bottle. I do these. I try to do my capsules 3 times a day, if I can. This last week, it's only been twice a day, but I'm going to go back to 3. Parasite M is good for people that are suffering from high candida issues in their bodies. I've also been working on my liver and gallbladder. I always do this one first. Now, this is very, very important. When you detox your liver and your gallbladder, you do not do the pancreas detoxing at the same time. You have to alternate them. So once I complete this bottle, I've got my bottle of pancreas in my office. I'll put that up here. and I will do my pancreas. Then I've got another one of liver and gallbladder, and then I'm going to alternate back over to the pancreas. Then I have those detoxed and cleansed. I did add, and I call it Ho Shou Wu. My son calls it He Shou Wu, and I've got some other names people are calling it. It's kind of funny. But cell proliferator. This also can help with graying of hair, which that tells you a lot of what's doing inside your body. And if you have thinning hair or baldness, this is great. However, I can't stress enough, you have to change your diet on all of this. You cannot detox and be eating any animal products. Those proteins are going to be killer on your kidneys. It does not serve you. Okay, so here I've got my lymphatic system too. That's what I started out with. I usually would tell people to start with one. You have to get the lymphatic system moving, but I'm going to tell you first and foremost, get those kidneys filtering, because your kidneys aren't filtering out that lymph and the acids. It's going to get stuck in places, and you don't want that. My kidneys were filtering a little bit. They weren't completely not filtering, so I'm hitting it hard. Excuse me. GI Renew. What we used to call this back in the day from the Dr. Morris products was stomach and bowel. It's the same thing. You just changed the name to GI Renew. Everybody should be taking this. There's the Fab 4 that everybody should be on, and that's going to be your endocrine gland capsules, your GI Renew, which is your stomach and bowel, your kidney, and your lymphatic. You need to be on all 4 of those throughout your detox period. Don't argue with me about that. Kidneys and bladder. I did the 3 to start out with, because I'm hitting everything pretty hard. This is going to act kind of like a diuretic in some ways as well, which is okay at the beginning of a detox. When you are going from a sad American diet, and then you're going to start going back to raw food eating, you're going to hydrate everything at a high level, and a lot of people end up having edema problems because they've got so much hydration, but their kidneys aren't working properly. So I don't have that problem. I'm very, very blessed that I've just got a lump on my thyroid and some gut problems, right? Which lymphatic, it's not all wonderful, and I will share some detox symptoms I've had on that. Parasite G, started that this week. I waited a whole month because I'm doing some other products that I'm going to share too that had somewhat of cleansing in it for the first month. Parasite G is strong. I hit this one hard. I'll do 2 capsules in the morning, 1 capsule in the afternoon, and I'm already getting worms out. So it's working. Bioavailable turmeric, guys. Bioavailable turmeric. Do not just buy any turmeric. This is the one that I found at my local store. It's extra strength turmeric supreme. It's like a gel inside of them. It's Gaia. I like it. It's okay. It's not my favorite choice. I have another one that I like that I'll share later. I'm doing cracked cell chlorella. This also helps get out metals. So, you know, what are we detoxing? I mean, honestly, if you know your lymphatic system and your glands and all in your gut and your brain and all this stuff, what's causing a lot of our problems? Well, it's what we eat. I mean, I could probably pull out that Wonder Bread of my son's and find bromine in it, right? Bromine is detrimental to your health, and it's in our breads. There's other things that are going on in our breads too. I would say don't eat bread, but I know so many people can't get away from their foods. The food seems to be, you know, the everything for everybody. I am doing the Purium drinks. This is what I started out with. It really helped my beginning to transition. I had to transition from, which I was still eating pretty good. It was my weekends. I was going out to restaurants with everybody and drinking, and you know, I always had corn tortilla chips. Those are my favorite. I had completely stopped those. Now if I want a chip, I do grain-free, but I probably shouldn't even be doing those, and that's going to be the next thing I get rid of. But you got to, you know, sometimes we got to kind of slowly transition into stuff. This helped me transition. It does have millet in it, but I'm going to tell you about the millet. The millet is sprouted. Sprouted millet does not cause any of the inflammation responses that a lot of people are experiencing when they get tested for certain things. So this should not bother you. And the rice bran solubles, also, I did a video on that in length. You can look back on that. This has the spirulinas. It's just a really good, you know, superfood. He did a lot of he's got the carrot juice powder, wheatgrasses, spirulinas, and even the amaranth is a sprout on that. So I started doing 2 to 3 of those drinks the first few weeks, and it really helped me transition back to raw foods. This is pretty cool. This is the Apathy Cherry that you can get from Purium, and you can do however much you want at night in a glass of water right before you go to sleep. This helps with inflammation, this helps with the kidneys, it helps with blood pressure fluctuation issues, and it helps with melatonin. So if you're having sleeping problems, this will help. However, if you are having severe sleeping problems, please get with me as soon as possible, because then you probably need to get on a pineal glandular. And you know, if you don't know how to detox, I highly recommend that you get with somebody who's been into school with Dr. Morris to help you with your detox, because detox, I'm not going to scare you from it because you need to do it. Everybody does. But you need to be paying attention to symptoms and how you're feeling. And if you need to rest, try to rest. It's harder for a truck driver to do that, but I literally made it to where the weekends when I come home, I'd go to the gym for an hour, go sit in a sauna, and then I come home, I lay on my heating pad, and I'm like the true grandma, because I am a grandma, but I don't usually act like a grandma. Let me see. There's all that. Also, Purium has the amino 23s that you can take. It's an amino acid. See, this is where people get really confused. They think that through propaganda, what we were all taught, right? Protein, that's how you build muscle. It's not the proteins. The proteins kill your kidneys. And if you kill your kidneys, you die. You can have heart problems, lung problems, cancers, whatever. Your body will still keep going. What kills you? When your kidneys go, that's death. Kidneys are the life source. Kidneys, yeah, gotta have them. So these are your amino acids. These are actually in a doctor's manual. Hospitals have taken these on. People that can't get up and walk at all are taking these, and they're not losing any muscle. So these are a really good product. They're very expensive. If you get into these Purium products, I don't suggest staying on the green drinks throughout the detox. Now, if I'm in a rush and I can't get to one of my smoothies or whatever that's just fruits, I grab one. It keeps me good. You know, that it's a great thing to have. But when you get further into your detox, you need to go as high fruit as possible, because who wants to detox for the rest of their life? You want to get in there, hit this, to do this. So now you guys know what I've been doing, and I have enough supplements to last me until the end of April. The iodine is down to 2, so that's good. I've covered all my bases on my regimen. My eating is freshly squeezed orange juice. We do the organic apple juices, bananas. You guys might as well start calling me the blueberryitarian. We had the mangoitarian, John Stearns. I love blueberries, and I did not know that till this detox, but they're great. And I take 2 huge things to work in my lunchbox. I take 2 bananas. I drink Heal All tea, and I also made a voice box tea from Dr. Morris's recipe, and it's wonderful. It has thyme in it, mullein. I think it also had some comfrey and slippery elm is what's in the voice box one, and it's amazing because I want to try to get as much, you know, the mucus and stuff. I did not get a cold yet, and colds are great to have in the beginning of a detox to clear all this out, but I don't know, I just didn't get one. So I do sound a little hoarse today, whereas some days it sounds clearer and it feels smaller, and then some days it's really inflamed. So I'm just kind of going back and forth. I'm entering into my 7th week, I believe, of detox Monday. Today is Saturday, the day after Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. And everything's going good. Oh, here's another one. Beet juice. The Beet Elites. I don't really care for who makes them. I just want a really healthy, nothing added to it, raw beet juice, concentrate or whatever. So I do a drink of this every morning, and I put my tinctures in it. This beets, your kidneys love beets, guys. If you can't eat them, do something like that, but just make sure there's nothing else added to it, because for some reason they like to add little dirty secrets to a lot of the supplementations. So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me at Brightys Detox and Wellness on Facebook, or you can just add me on Facebook and tell me why you're adding me. Also, you're more than welcome to leave some comments here on YouTube. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.